Fortune and Strife features subjects which can be uncomfortable for a general audience, such as the use of drugs and alcohol, poor treatment of people of different classes or cultures, adult situations, psychological trauma, deprivation, survival, natural disasters, and violence. Listener discretion advised. In addition, these next few episodes of the show contain cultural and historical content based upon the peoples of Asia and the Far East. We are coming at this from a place of respect and genuine interest and a love of these cultures, places, and history. We may not get it 100% right all the time, and we ask you to bear with us and give us the benefit of the doubt, and we would let us know when we get it wrong. We want to be an ally in dispelling Orientalism that has affected the Asian and Middle Eastern communities around the world. Welcome to Fortune and Strife. I am Robert, or Bayoshi Shinichi, and I'll be your host and narrator.
I am Chini, and I am playing Toji Gen.
I am Tyler, and I am playing Akoto Richi. Let's play some L5R in the Burning Sands.
With Gen's condition stable, but only moderately improving, it still takes some time. And that time is spent by Richi traveling to the alchemist's house to visit with who is now growing to become quite a good friend with him and a seal. That he and El Samara sit about, discuss medicine, different methods of treatment, the different plants and uses that they make both in Rokugan and here, which things are the same, which can be transposed, all that good stuff. There's just a lot of learning, and a lot of books get pushed onto Richi that Richi has a great deal of difficulty understanding or reading.
I've got homework.
You've got homework to do, absolutely. But there's a lot of sleepless nights. You're able to, sneak out or get the kind of tacit permission of Rafi to go out and go to Al Samra's place and get back in time to not really be to be seen that you were still at the Emir's place. And this is all while the Emir is mostly on the road for a couple of weeks, bringing out the Sultan's different proclamations and whatnot to various provinces of the Caliphate.
Okay, so I'm not dodging him. I'm dodging all the other people around the palace.
All the other, yeah, exactly. They want to make sure that you're still where you're supposed to be, that the Sultan is still satisfied, that the Emir is holding up his end of things. And so, yeah, and to also make sure that the Alsamer's meeting his obligations and whatnot, and that you haven't outed him as collaborating with you in a way that he's not necessarily supposed to. But you've been spending a lot of sleepless nights out and about over there while also maintaining appearances here. So you will be suffering the exhausted condition going forward from here, which means that you won't be able to reset to half on strife or fatigue until you get a good, solid 6 hours of rest yourself.
Lovely. Well, thankfully it's end of scene already, so I'm back down, but
From here on out, you're stuck with that for a while. And unfortunately, while you were spending several days doing this, and it's probably been about a good week, someone that you wouldn't suspect is starting to show some signs of paranoia or distrust. And it's Kitsune Hate, the Fox Clan samurai who wound up in this land far away in the burning sands with you as well, is starting to wonder, like, and he's asking you sometimes very pointed questions like, where have you gone, what are you doing, and why you don't look so well. Is Gen's illness spreading? Can the poison spread to others? Like, he's very concerned and is starting to get to a very paranoid state.
No, Hayate, it's certainly not that. Gen is stable, so nothing.
Stable, but not. She hasn't gotten up. It's been a week.
It's gonna take time, and just this has been exhausting work to make sure that everything is on the up and up.
Yes, but you said that she maybe had a week to live. I mean, are we in the last days of her life?
No, she is stable.
Ah,
She's stable, and she's it just got to take time for the poison to run through her system. It's just it's gonna be a bit.
and he doesn't seem to be satisfied with that. He's like, but in a week you can't pass a substance like that. Like there's almost no meal one could eat without passing it in an entire week. How does this poison persist? Is has she been have they cast some sort of foul magics on her? Are they? And he kind of like leans in close and very quietly. Just, are they practicing Maho? Did they cursed her?
Don't believe it is anything as extreme. I believe it is just mere poison. Is it's beyond. I've said that far too many times. It's look. I don't know much about poisons. It is. That's the only thing I can think of is that
Right,
it's going
and
to keep
that's when he
going.
kind of like just like kind of unloads on you, just like, well, then what good are you as a medic, as a healer, as someone who depends on putting our lives in your hands if you don't know your craft?
I have kept her alive thus far. She would have been dead now had I not done anything.
Why don't you go ahead and make me a check to really see if you can how much you can impart that on our poor out of his gourd samurai here.
All right. I'm gonna go with. Obviously, I'm trying to be polite about it, so we're gonna go with courtesy.
Courtesy, okay.
And I'm just trying to go the straight out like, here are the facts. Earth.
Laying it out that way. Okay, not trying to be friendly, but just laying out the facts as you know them, and just this is the way it's gonna take. I might not know a lot about poisons, but this is just the way. Like you can't change these laws of the universe. Yeah, no, Earth's a
Yep.
great.
I'm too tired to be nice.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, I'll give you a void point to do it blind, or you can know the TN. What would you like?
Uh, I'll. So I'm filled up on void points now. So I'll take the void point and then just turn it right around and use it.
You got it. All right. All right. So with your Earth courtesy to try and lay it out to him as and just the bare facts as you can, how'd that go?
Well, I got 2 successes, 2 opportunity, and 2 strife. So I'll take the strife. There's nothing I can do about that. But I will use one of my opportunities to reduce his strife by 2, because I am trying to, ease things along for him,
He's probably in a near compromised or compromised position. Yeah.
and just, I want to take a little bit of extra, like, careful steps to explain everything and just really lay out the logic of it all.
All right. Well, you unfortunately fail with a shortfall of 3, and Hayate just shakes his head and says, "I'll just have to take your word for it, then, Ricci." And he's going to be suffering a temporary disadvantage of paranoia for the time being until he can kind of be placated or ameliorated to what's the actual situation is. But yeah, he's not buying it or dealing with it as well as you would hope at this point.
And as he walks off, Ricci just kind of rubs the side of his face and goes, "Work on your bedside manner, Ricci. That's all you can do." And he kind of like slaps his face a couple of times, just kind of get that wake up, and it's like, okay, let's see how Gen's doing.
There you go. And you go in, you check on her, and she's doing well enough. You're only about a week into it. You spend some more time here and there looking in after her and trying with your best with Hayate, who's just not having it. Luckily, Sueno is there to lend a hand when you need. And it's about 10 days into this whole situation when Jamila comes into Gen's room, and it's kind of getting on towards the later afternoon, evening, and she is just like in a just nervous tizzy, just like, oh no, you both, I need your help. The um, the the vizier uh, Galia El Akhtar. She's come to, well, to see how you are all doing and to inspect the Emir's household while he's still away from the estates.
Oh, well, unfortunately, Gin is currently indisposed, but I suppose I can meet with the Vizier.
Okay, very good. Yeah, no, if you can meet with her and with hopefully with Rafi's help, you can um, let her know that everything is going as well as it can be, and that she doesn't need to worry, and we can send her on her way without too much issue. But the whole household's on edge right now.
Oh, I guess I can play the best part of a guest and assist the household where I can.
All right. That said, Richie, what's your current kind of state of dress and cleanliness, and how well have you been taking care of yourself? Have you been letting your beard grow in a little bit, as bad as it does come in? How are you looking right now?
Uh, Reachi's looking a little bedraggled. Very much the little bit of a rougher edge to his voice, growing that scruff out more than a 5 o'clock shadow. We're looking at like 10 o'clock shadow now, if you will. And actually to the point where some of the hair on his scalp is starting to grow out a little bit. He hasn't been keeping it shaved.
Do you want to take some time to look after yourself at this point before going to meet the vizier, or are you going to greet her in your current state?
I'm going to greet her in my current state, and it's one of those things where Ricci walks into the room with the vizier, and as soon as he steps foot in, he's like, I should have cleaned up.
Well, Sueno can
Yeah.
assist with that, and she could give Ricci a reminder if you wish.
Or do you like the idea of, yeah, I should have done this, but I'm
I
going
like
out.
the idea of I should have done this.
There you go.
And,
All right.
and it kind of plays into the point of like, yeah, he's not taking care of himself, and it's starting to show, and other people are starting to see it.
Fair enough. All right. So we'll go ahead and set the scene here. We have Jamila, the maid, who's been kind of sent to be kind of your guys' personal assistant in that regard. There is Rafi, who is the head of the vizier's household. Sorry, the emir's household is there. The vizier, again, Galia El Akhtar. This is the very put upon older woman with fantastically gray hair that she keeps bound tight and is impeccably dressed, and that's kind of where you feel it, where this woman is like not a single thing is out of place on her, from the hair on her head to her attire, that everything is just spotless and impeccable and on point. You are a bedraggled, tired mess right now.
The
We
opposite.
Yep. Have Sueno and Hayate kind of filling in behind you there, but that's who we have here in the scene. And yeah, the vizier is kind of looking around, almost giving the place like a white glove treatment as she kind of runs a finger along a banister at one point, and is just like, the foreign dignitaries. I'm glad that to see you. Where's the fourth of you? Where's the last of you?
Unfortunately, Gin has fallen ill and will be unable to meet with you today, but I am happy to be here with you and answer anything that I may.
Nothing serious, is it? Nothing contagious or an illness, an outbreak that we would have to be worried about? Something that you've brought with you?
Nothing so serious, no.
Hmm. And Hayate starts to kind of like vibrate a little bit at the mention of something like that, wondering, what's going on. Very well. And how would you say that the Amir has been treating you?
He has been an extremely gracious host.
And in what ways has he ingratiated himself to you?
He has clothed us, kept us fed, given us free reign of his home. I dare say I have not been treated as well in my own homeland as I have been here.
Free reign of his home. So more so than just the quarters that he has provided you, you can wander wherever you'd like and take part in whatever you want.
Within moderation, of course. Yeah. Surely we do not want to go into any more of private quarters than anything else, but we're allowed to wander the grounds as we so choose.
So then, what do you know of the Emir's current business?
I know that he is currently left to proclaim the Sultan's decrees.
And are you privy to any of these?
I am not. Then again, this is not our land.
It's not your land, but you know some of our ways, from what I understand, that you have countrymen who have traveled extensively within our own lands over the years.
Indeed. It's
has
not
the
one
Emir-
of ours, but
And has the Emir talked with you much about this?
not recently. I know we briefly discussed it on our trip into the city, but since then we have not had much discussion on that particular topic.
And have you seen any more of this unicorn clan of yours from your homeland? Have they made any inroads out to the sands recently?
I'm certain some have. I am not privy to anyone that has gone out beyond the walls.
Now, real quick though, I guess I should pause here and do some out of character stuff. Do we want to say that Ricci has heard from Sueno about the possible Rokugani that they ran into earlier? More than likely, that's been discussed, I think.
Yeah, I would say that's been discussed.
So then, are you going to possibly lie here?
It's not lying. It's just, I am not aware of any particular Rokugan. I don't know if these people are from Rokugan or not.
You know, that is fair. that is an honest lion's way to handle this situation.
And he has not and he has not seen them himself, of course.
I have not.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You know what? I will allow you to make that claim, but I'm curious how obvious he might be about it. So I will call for you to make some sort of social check here with her.
That's an
if this
error.
was an older edition, this would be a sincerity check all the way through.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Probably this is an air courtesy one.
Probably. I would say air courtesy, yeah.
Air courtesy probably sounds about the right way to do it. And let me go ahead and pull up the Vizier's thing here.
I am so gonna fail, by the way.
That depends. You can have the assistance of some of your other fellows here.
I don't want Hayate's assistance.
Hayate can very much attest to your same level of sentiment in this regard.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Without lying. So I'll give you from Hayate. Does he have social? He does have social, so he will give you skilled assistance.
Okay.
And Sueno does too.
Excellent. She's at social. So there you go. I'll give you 2 skilled assistance on this check. As you're like, well, we don't know and we've not seen specifically.
Okay. So that's.
And then I will give you a void point to do it blind, or I can give you I can tell you the TN of the check.
I think I want the TN on this one.
You want the TN on this one? Okay. You are looking at a TN of 6.
Oh my goodness!
Because you guys did say air, correct?
Oh yeah.
Short of finding out her demeanor ahead of time, yeah.
Yep.
That's not as bad as it could have been.
Not as bad as it could have been. Shortfall of 2.
Yep, that's 4 successes and 2 strife.
Yeah. So she won't necessarily will call you out for being in a lie, but she'll be like, "Is that so?" Very well, then. I will make note of that for the Sultan to know about. But I will tell you this: uh, recent history between the Shinjo and your Unicorn clan and the Caliphate have been tense. So I would to not infuriate the Sultan any further than you already have. I would steer clear of any of them that you have met or seen.
That is understandable. As far as troubles with the unicorn, I am very much well aware of how much trouble they can be.
Then you should also know this: if the Emir tries to probe you on any of your knowledge of the Unicorn Clan, especially uh, in the matter spiritual, feign as much ignorance as you can.
That will not be difficult. I do not know much of the unicorn's spirituality.
Very good then, Raffi. You may send them back. Now I wish to inspect your supplies, your pantry, your kitchen. Send for your chefs. And I will inspect the rest of the household now. And she just kind of, without a second thought to the rest of you, and without it really kind of like saying goodbye to you, pretty much just has Raffi dismiss you.
Oh, I've been around enough court that I know when I'm being dismissed.
Yeah. And sends you back. And Hayate is now like, what does she mean by uh, if we meet with the unicorn? And what does this whole have to do with the unicorn and their spirituality? Is this? And he kind of like leans in, like, again, to that weird conspiratorial way that he did with the Maho thing earlier. Does this have to do with Beishido? Like, isn't that supposed to be a topic of concern at the next winter court?
I don't. It might be Mushudo, but that's beyond me. I know that we were looking for ways out of the city, and we had potentially come across someone from Rokugan that might be able to return us back. And
did they do this? Did they put a spirit in her?
I'm pretty certain it's not a spirit. Again, it's just poison.
I mean, but isn't just corruption just a poison of the soul? He's kind of all melting down and babbling to himself at this point, and yeah, it's fairly inconsolable unless you really want to try and reassure him again this time.
It. I would not be a good friend if I didn't try to console him. So yeah, let's try to console him.
All right.
And as a note, I'm at 10 of 12 strife, so this ought to go really well.
Really well. Yep. So yeah, how do you want to try and console the poor man?
Oh, it's definitely going to be a courtesy check. But I might go with actually. Yeah, it'll still be courtesy. Let's go void, and let's try to like I was trying to hit him with logic beforehand, and that didn't work. So I want to go more the void route, and being like, if this was a spiritual thing, there would be more to it than what we know. We know what's going on. There's nothing else to it. Let's just take the path that we've got.
Yeah, excellent. I think couching it in spiritual language, that if she had a spiritual sickness, we would probably be experiencing other stranger things than a poison that I've clearly treated with medicines. Otherwise, we would see, X, Y, and Z. Remember how spiritual affliction might affect someone? It would affect their mind in different ways, and yeah, and their bodies.
And I'll even go one step further with that and be like, during your training as a Kitsune Bushi, surely you would have learned more about spiritual afflictions.
There you go.
And at least some of the warning signs to look for. You may not be able to solve it, but you know what to look for. And does Gen have any of those?
All right. First things first. So this is going to be a void courtesy. Void point to do it blind, or would you like to know the TN?
I'll take the TN on this one as well.
Got it. The TN is 3.
Okay. A courtesy 1, void of 3, and a lesson that I have to bring up courtesy a lot more next time I get to spend experience points.
Unless you can put it into command. He's lower rank than you.
So I was thinking about doing command. But right now I don't see Hayate as an underling. I see him as a friend.
Okay.
And whereas for if it was like a Lion Clan member that I considered a friend, like the best friend, I would 100% use command because that's what they're used to. But for Hayate, command would only get him so far.
Mm-hmm.
I could solve it short term, but long term it would be an issue.
Okay.
That's my mindset on it. So that being said, woo, we'll take it. And you know what? I'm just gonna leave it there. I don't need any more.
Well, remember, you can explode it. See if you get something clean to use. I don't know. Or maybe another opportunity, and then you can drop it off if you don't want it.
I forgot that I could do that.
There's almost no reason not to just peek.
I'll take the extra success.
Yeah, there you go.
Nothing wrong with taking the extra success there.
All right, so yes, you have success with 1 bonus success. And how do you want to spend your 2 ops?
2 ops. Ooh.
Well, 2 ops can be spent to negate the 2 strife you're getting off this check if you're really worried about your strife right now.
Legitimately, I kind of want to leave the strife.
Hey, you know what? Absolutely, ride. Let that thing ride.
But that does make me compromised. So
no, if it will it make you even or will it put you over?
Oh, it will make me even. I have one more check on me then.
You're not compromised yet.
I got one more check with me then. So let's go with. Oh, I want to spend one of these opportunities to I want to learn another character's objective, and in talking about the spirituality and the like just the nature of like religion as a whole, I want to see what the Vizier was up to about asking about the religion of the unicorn.
Yeah, let me take a look
and
here.
See if I can discern that.
In a spiritual insight into the nature of the universe or your own heart, at the GM's discretion, you may establish a fact about your character that has not been previously revealed but relates to the situation. I think is a perfect situation to use here.
Not the one I was going for. I was going for the one under social skill, which is learn another character's objective.
Oh, another character's
objective. They have to be in the scene.
There you go.
Oh, but if they have to be in the scene, then I'll use both opportunities to do that then.
Yeah. Okay.
I will use the flashback opportunities.
The flashback opportunities, as it were. Yeah. Okay. So the Vizier was asking after all this because the Emir has had an idea to galvanize the forces of the Caliphate under his command in a holy war against Rokugan, and especially a holy war against the unicorn. He views that their practices of Meishido goes against the teachings of the Nameless Prophet, and that they are practicing magics that are old in the Burning Sands and have been outlawed as the enslaving of spirits, and that this practice is, while lost for the most part out here, except by fringe sorcerers that still do this magic, that it would be the akin of Mahotsukai back in Rokugan. He feels that the Unicorn Clan is rife with them, and that they need to be taken out, and that one, he can galvanize the forces of the Caliphate into fighting this holy war against them, but he hopes to gain control of those forces and lead them in a glorious battle in the name of the Holy Prophet, and to come back in a bid to possibly even overtake the current sultan and start a new dynasty.
Ah, okay. That's real bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So just kind of talking it over with Hayate and just being like, yeah, we don't know what this could be. Just remember your training. Remember what it is to look for spiritual afflictions. It's certainly not, Maho at all, or it's also not Mishodo. At least I'm pretty certain it's not. And it's definitely not Mishodo. They really dislike that practice. As a matter of fact, they find it abhorrent. And the unicorn are the ones that practice Mishodo. Oh. We've got to get back to Rokugan soon. We've got to get back to let the Shinjo know about what might be happening.
What are you thinking, Akodo-sama? Says Sueno.
We've been here too long. We've partaken of their generosity too much to the point where we've gotten complacent. And if we wait here too much longer, a force could be raised large enough to attack Rokugan. Things are starting to fall into place. Now I know why the Emir is with us.
Do you think that might be related to why they poisoned Gen?
I think so. I think they poisoned Gen because she was about to make contact with someone in the town that either is a unicorn or has contact with the unicorn. The ones that could get us out. And if we have this information, we are now a danger to their plan. We've got to leave the city as fast as possible.
Sueno stops to think about that and says, I have Gensama's notes, and I have skills in making sure that I move quietly through a town. I could try to slip out and contact the unicorn. There was also another in the palace itself, and one among the general's men.
It was one of the general's men?
Yes. She pulls open she goes over to Gen's room and looks inside her notes, and where Gen has been writing all of her information in in her book of flowers and bugs and all the other things. Alan Kadir is a dancer and a socialite who was theoretically a courtesan, but of the Emir. But Gen said that wasn't true. But Munsif el-Bashira was an assistant aide-de-camp to the Defender of the Faith. If you were able to reach out to them, Kadir is here at the palace. But I could try to get in touch with Isaiah Salik again, more quietly.
Okay, I'll see what I can do to reach out to Munsif.
But if you are poisoned, then no one will take care of Gen. You must not do it yourself. You must not risk yourself, Akodo-sama.
You're right. I have to stay here.
I can carry a message for you if you wish, or I can still pursue the silk merchant first.
I have an idea. You follow up on the leads. Follow up with Kadir and the silk merchant, and I will have Rafi send out a message to Munsef and see if I can have him meet us here. Or meet me here, I should say.
Very well. Or perhaps instead of reaching out to him directly, you could go to the Defender of the Faith and I don't know. You seem to have pleasant relations with him before. You can ask him if he has any of like us.
I would rather try to keep things a little bit more subtle before trying to involve any more of the higher political players.
Well, I can start. I can start with the silk merchant. If I go into town for some supplies or something.
Of course, I do. And speaking a little bit louder in the same Ricci style that he does, it says, "Yes, I do need more supplies to take care of Gin. I will have a list of the various herbs that I will require you to grab me on the morning."
Very well.
And then back to a lower voice, and he says, "I hope that threw people off."
If I'm curious. If you are interested in throwing people off, why don't you go ahead and make me a air courtesy or air command check here?
Air
I was going
command
to do
here.
performance.
Yeah.
I was going to do performance because it's
Performance
another
also works.
performance check.
Performance totally works.
It's the exact
Absolutely.
same thing we did back when I had Gin go off for books.
Yeah, no, performance is excellent with that. Yeah, no.
And again, I'm just bad at this.
Yep,
no.
I like it. This is good.
Have yourself a meltdown.
I'm not gonna have a meltdown over this one. That being said,
He is gonna be compromised though.
if I take it.
Yeah, if he takes it.
You know what? No, I'm not gonna take it.
All right.
I'm just gonna take the single success. It's one of those things where I, as a player, understand that this will not work. Ricci, on the other hand, this is totally how this goes. He's read this in a couple of pillow books.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely going to be spoken of. People will know that they're up to something. We're not sure, but that loud idiot just did not make it any less obvious that they're doing something.
Yep.
Sweno is totally going to roll her eyes at you. At you.
Excellent. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and decide. Ricci, are you just going to write a letter to Munsa?
Yes.
Okay.
I will write a letter and then have Raffi send that out. Or deliver it, I should say.
Anything in particular? Do you want to hide anything in it? Or is it just going to be a very direct letter? Here's what I'm asking you, or asking you to come see me? What are you writing?
I'm going to ask him for a meeting discussing certain contacts in the city.
Okay.
But I'm not going to say any specifics about who or what or why. It's just saying, I would like to meet you concerning people in the city. And that's it.
All right. And you're going to send Sueno out to go find some supplies, and Hayate is going to spend his time trying not to melt down. Too late. It's already happening.
Yeah, he's already there.
Sounds good. So let's start off with Sueno heading out into town.
Mm-hmm.
What's your plan? Are you just going to make like you're heading over to the garment district again, or are you going to take another route?
Sueno is very much going to get the herbs first, but she is
okay.
As she was instructed, but she is going to be watching for tails or anything like that, with her skullduggery skills and her special ability, because she is easily overlooked.
Oh, very nice.
That is one of her techniques. And so she is going to, and she can skulk. So what she's going to do is she is going to be overlooked, She or try to, and she is going to go shopping, and she's going to try and ditch all tails and disappear into the crowd as a low-ranked nobody, and then she's going to work her way over to the garment district to try and get in touch with the seamstress.
All right. So yeah, that seems to me for Sueno, um I think a uh TN2 um Skulldug check.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's probably, what are you thinking? Are you thinking air or were you thinking
Uh,
another element?
well, first part she's moving, so I'd like water ideally. If it has to be air, it can. Um,
Let me But you can also use it as a way to adapt or shift, and I kind of like the idea of using it to shift to move a tail, and not only to possibly lose a tail, but to like follow someone who might be following you. Yeah, let's go with water. I think.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
also good for moving quickly, and
yeah.
she is booking it
hmm I
as a
think I
way
think
to.
water could be good here. So in that case, yeah, let's go with a TN2 water Skulldug.
All right, we will do that. Give me a sec. She has water of 3, skullduggery 2.
All right, how did Sueno do on her Skullduggery check?
She got 2 successes, 2 opportunities, and one strife. She would like to use the opportunities, so she is basically booking it as fast as she could to ditch the tail through this crowd. And she'll use the opportunity to find a place to slip into a store or something and get behind the person following her so she can see who it was before she goes on her way.
Got it. So you were able to kind of, so you succeed, and so you're able to lose the tail and then circle around and get a good look at who might have been doing it. And you see this, uh, well, for better or worse, some sort of cut purse or criminal who's got a kind of blade at the ready, but kind of hidden in something that they're looking like they're carrying. Um, but
Mm-hmm.
they definitely appear to be someone who is of a criminal element, and you're not quite sure who would have sent them, but they definitely don't seem uh, Rokugani. So someone else is watching you guys and keeping a an eye and might want to do harm.
Okay, I will wait and hang out until they are good and gone
Yeah,
before
they give up
I.
after about another 10 minutes of trying to spot you where you had been traveling and realize that they've kind of lost you in the whole situation, and they seem to put away their knife and head back and try to find another spot where they can make eyes on you.
Okay, and then I will quietly move back onto the clothing district.
All right. So you make your way over to the clothing district, and how do you want to try and engage with uh, Nazia this time? Do you want to walk right up like you guys did the first time, but kind of spooked her and caused her to run, or are you going to sneak into her shop? Are you going to try another approach? What are you thinking?
Sueno is going to sneak into her shop or nearby when there's a place where she can get her alone. So if the shop is generally filled with people, then she'll just wait until she leaves the shop and follow her home. Otherwise, she will find a place where she can confront her alone in the shop.
Yeah, no,
Get
near
her in
the
a
end of the
corner.
near the end of the day, I think you can probably sneak in. There's not a lot of people being fitted or coming about, and a lot of their fabric is kind of held on the outside, and you can probably find a spot where you can hide, and then hopefully be able to talk to her while her assistant is out, gathering things out front or doing some sort of business. So, yeah, let's go ahead and uh, call this another Skulldug check. Yeah, I think that would just be a TN2 Skulldug as well. It's uh, fairly easy. So it's a fairly average task, I think, for Suena to do. It's definitely not difficult.
Okay, but more air. Might have to do air.
Probably more under the air auspices of
All
things.
all
Yeah.
right. And is she higher status than me or not?
Ooh, that is an excellent question. I believe she is. Give me just 1 second to verify. Sueno's status is
She is what is that status? 20.
20. She looks like you guys are of equal status.
Okay. Well, then I will just have to hope for it. Actually, I'll see if I can throw in a void.
But let's figure out what you're going to keep and whatnot, and then spend your ops, and we'll figure it out from there.
Well, I will keep 1 success and both opportunities. Or, sorry, 1 success and 1 opportunity. Sorry.
1 success, 1 op. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, do you want to spend your op?
If I fail, determine the easiest way to attempt this task of confronting and pulling her up
Okay.
on
Yeah.
her own. So
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to use that opportunity.
yeah, I'll use that one
Okay.
instead.
Yeah. So what I can say is that sneaking in would be too difficult, just from the way the shop is set up and the way that she has an assistant with her and things like that. Um, is But with only one shortfall, we'll say you don't give yourself away completely, and you can attempt a new course of action. And the new course of action, I tell you the easiest way, and that's going to be. You think if you wait for the assistant to leave, and Nazia is going to lock up the shop to kind of be the last one to leave. If you show up just at that moment and just lay out like your case about who you are, and you're just straight with her, you just say, "Hey, last time you ran, but my lady's in trouble, and we're all in trouble, and we need to get out, and we think you might be connected." If you lay it out in an Earth style,
Okay.
um, you might be able to. That'd probably be the best way to just come out and just be totally honest with them and lay out your case of what you need, um, without hiding and sneaking, but just catching her
Mm-hmm.
right at that moment where she's alone.
Okay. Well, then Suena will find a place very quietly to sit or hide and just to wait until the end of the night.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
not long. Like I said, you were kind of getting towards the end of the day anyways. It's probably an hour while they kind of pull everything in, and they're closed, as it were, but they're still pulling in all their merchandise and inventory, and checking on things and making sure everything's where it's supposed to be, and locking up the money and checking the ledger and all that good stuff you got to do at the end of a business day. And then
Mm-hmm.
she sends off her assistant, and then they go wandering off, and it's about that time you stand up and you watch her lock up the shop, and you go and make your case.
Okay. I've fallen next to her and say, "Pardon me, but I need to speak with you." In Rokugani.
In Rokugani, excellent. I like it. Yeah, and if that her kind of eyes will go a bit wide, and she'll be like, "Don't you, you fool!" They Well, the people speak all sorts of tongues in this marketplace throughout the day. That is one of the languages that we don't speak of if we can avoid it.
Then let us find a quiet place where we can speak where no one will overhear. Please. I need your help.
Bad enough the two of you came here the other day to what? To out me? To turn me into the Emir? Even if you
No,
don't intend to, this is what's going to happen.
we don't want to out you. My lady she's dying. She's been poisoned, and the Emir's man, they want to hunt us, and they're trying to. The Sultan's man is after us, and the Emir is trying to start a war with Rokugan, and we have to leave before they find grounds to.
Go ahead and make me an earth courtesy here as you implore her for some aid.
I
And I
shall.
will give you a void point to do it blind.
Okay.
All right. All right. How did Sueno do in just letting the unbridled truth kind of flow out of her here as she's appealing for aid?
Well, Sueno must have the utter certainty of her convictions and her love for Gen fueling it, because despite having only a 2 courtesy and a 2 earth, she got 5 successes and 4 strife. So she is very heartfelt, and she is also now at the limits of her composure as she is explaining the situation to this seamstress.
Got it. So the TN was 1, so you got that plus 4 bonus successes. And since I give something for every 2 bonus successes, we're going to say she's predisposed to help you out with 2 additional boons that you might ask for when you get to where she's taking you, which is going to be off to, um, let's see, what is a good private location where you can have a talk where you're probably not going to be bothered all that much. I'm thinking to a bath. She'll take you off, and this is very different than a Rokugani bath. This one is full of steam that will open up the skin and the lungs. It's beautifully tiled with this kind of mosaic tiles all over the place. And it is definitely a whole other different situation than you're used to from a bath back in Rokugan, but it's not completely foreign. But she takes you to a bath, and while you two are getting washed off and cleaned up before taking a dip into this small tiled pool, she'll finally be like, "All right, now that we're fully alone here, what is it that you need? What can the unicorn do for you?"
We need to get back to Rokugan one way or another. Myself, Kitsune Hayate, Akoto Richi, and my lady Dojigen. We are essentially kept prisoner in the palace. We can find a way out of that, I think. At least once my lady is able to walk. But we have no way of leaving the city or staying alive across the desert. I don't know if we would be pursued or not, but we couldn't get past the guards.
Well, the unicorn, while have had a mixed history here in the city, having sacked it twice and being on the outs with the current sultan and the emir, we've had to operate rather discreetly in the city. Uh, but we have a caravan that is getting ready to supply up and leave once winter is over. That's about uh, a little over 2 months away.
If we could be a part of that caravan, we would be very grateful, and it would help prevent a war. She has tributaries of trade.
Ah, okay.
So there is a chance that she might be able to have something that she could offer to the unicorn in exchange for this
Mm-hmm.
passage that she has acquired somehow along the way.
Absolutely. The best thing about tributaries of trade is that you can produce it now and explain how you got it after.
So I can try that and see if there's anything that will suit, or I can save that until after and do it then.
You probably don't need to do it just necessarily right now with her. But yeah, you
Mhm.
can definitely use tributaries of trade to set that up. All right, so
Okay, so she can I can offer some small measure of our gratitude now, and you know, to hold our bond, but I do think it will be for the benefit of the unicorn as well.
well, if you say that they're going to commit or are likely to commit war against Rokugan, then it is probably best that we get you and the rest of the Rokugani out of the city as soon as we can. I will do what I can to talk with the caravan master and see if they can uh, find space on some horses or camels for you, or even inside one of the carts. It depends. Um, you say that your lady is dying?
Our healer, he's a Kitsu medic. He says that she has been poisoned, um, possibly because she was going to reach out to you. That's why I came very quietly. We did not know before that of the conflicts, but
She
she's getting
mutters
better.
something. She mutters something under her breath about the goddamn bronze viper. But she is getting better, you say?
Yes, but it is a long process. But Akoda-sama is a very skilled healer. So I have hopes.
Well, if the bronze viper wasn't able to kill her immediately, then hopefully your medic can restore her to health. How about this? I'll give you. Again, we're not leaving for another 2 months, but the sooner we start to get these plans in motion and get you in contact with the rest of the Rokugani in the city, the better. So why don't I give you another week or so to get your lady up and running, and on she kind of says think on the yes on the 25th, which is about another 11 days away. She hands you a note that she's written in Rokugani that is kind of like uh, effectively a calling card or something to let you in. If you show this to uh, the guards wearing purple at the Pilgrim's Court, at in she describes a location within that area of refugees, travelers, and pilgrims where the the unicorn can come together and meet and plan things out for their caravan. She says this will get you into the to meet with the rest of us.
Very well. I will take this to you, and I will. If anything should go wrong, I can leave a message, and I find a place in a not in the clothing district, but like maybe in the booksellers district. Like I describe a location there, um, bound with a blue ribbon, and I will.
Okay.
You can. I will update you if anything should go astray.
I'll keep my eye out. I'll try to pass that way on my way home, and I'll do the same. Except we'll use a purple one.
Very well.
Is there anything else that you need?
Not at this time. Thank you.
All right, then. I wish your lady good health and a quick recovery, and we'll see you on the 25th.
Very well. I will make sure that when I come out, I'm not followed back.
Yep. You want to make another check, or are you just hoping that you won't?
I'll make another check, but wait, we'll see.
I know that you're just on the verge. Well, this is a new scene to end of a scene, so I will allow you to go to half in case something does
I think
transpire on the way back, i.e., something else to check you.
I'll make. I'll go anyway. We'll see if Sueno having a meltdown. She might end up in a street fight.
It might end up in a street fight. There is that. But again, it's between scenes, so you can drop your strife to half to your composure, and you can attempt the check, and then without having to get totally flummoxed, because you're not as exhausted as poor Ricci
That's
is.
true. All right. Well, okay, I'll do that.
Yeah.
We'll do that. All right. Let's see how this goes.
PN2 Skulldug check. You can use air or water.
Okay. So she'll make it back. She's stressed again. She's right at composure again. She doesn't have that much composure, so so she's right there. Even so, she has 2 successes and 2 opportunities, and 3 strife, which is enough to take her right back to the edge of her composure. And she wants.
It's probably the last check of the night.
Yep. And she is going to use those opportunities to try and observe the best way to slip in and out of the palace.
Oh, that's excellent.
For next time.
For 2 opportunities, I think you should definitely write something on her sheet under her notes that Sueno has a method of entering and exiting the palace grounds to the Emir's estate without being seen by either side's guards.
All right, I will do so.
I think that's an excellent use of water ops there. Yeah, and with Sueno entering the palace estates to let Hayate and Ricci understand what she has found out, and that they possibly have a way out at the end of winter here, that they just have to hold out for another 2 months or so, and they have some people to meet in about 11 days. That'll hopefully start the process of getting them shuffled out of the city. I'm Robert, or Bayoshi Shinichi, your host and narrator, thanking you once again for listening. Remember to catch new episodes every Monday. If you want to catch them early or are looking for more bonus content, please consider becoming a supporting member of the Patreon at patreon.com/courtgames.
I am Tyler, and I've been playing Akoto Ricci. You can find me on my personal accounts on Twitter, @ChurcherGames, or on Twitch, also as ChurcherGames. You can find the show on the web at courtgamespod.com, on social media platforms such as Facebook and Instagram under Fortune and Strife, and on Twitter @L5RFNS. If you would like to contact us, you can email the show at fortuneandstrife@gmail.com.
This is Jeannie, aka Kakita Kaori, and also known as, at least today, Doji Gen. You can find me at my blog at the Winter Garden of the Kakita website, along with helpful materials for the RPG, and also on Twitter @WhiteVeils or on Facebook. If you like, I am also found on the Court Games RPG podcast as a writer for Emerald Legacy, Or check out The Table Is Yours for fiction readings of the FFG stories.
This has been Fortune and Strife, a Court Games production in association with D20 Radio Network and the Rokugana Historical Society.
Correctly with the correct amount.
D20 Radio, where gamers roll.
www.d20radio.com.